So today I'm going to do, well, I call it Sewing for Sam Sundays, but this is going to be another like crafty sewy type of a vlog. But despite the name, it's actually Saturday evening after dinner. I'm starting a bit early because honestly I got all my work done that, like, I had my checklist and I finished my checklist for work that I needed to do today, and we finished a ton of masks, which were basically on my checklist to do, and so I finished them a little bit early, so I was like, oh, I'll get started first. So for Sam, my little baby Sammy. So if you don't know, I guess technically now I am 20 weeks pregnant with my first baby, gonna be a little boy, Sam, and I'm so excited. So really what I hope to do is I really want to use this time on Sundays to try to expand my skills, because I'm very confident in sewing, but sewing specific things. And things for babies, not one of them. So what I'm going to be working on for this project, actually it's probably going to be a couple projects, but this first project is I'm going to be making bandana style drool bibs. And yes, those are very easy, but they're going to have snaps, and I have never put snaps in before. I have the tools necessary to do it, so that's going to be the skill that I'm going to try to do. So let me show you the pattern I'm using, and we'll get started. So I just printed out this really simple free pattern. It's called the Bandana Bib, designed for a project nursery by Grey House Harbor design. So I'm going to cut this out and use this as my pattern. I am not sure how many bandana bibs I am going to make, because it all depends on how my backing fabric. So for my backing fabric, I just have, I think it's a yard, I think that's all I was able to get, of terry cloth fabric. I got this at Joann's, and honestly I was hoping it would be a little bit softer, because I could kind of just use towels, but I think we don't have any like towels in good condition right now that I would want to spare, so I'm just going to make how many ever I can make using this as a background. I want it to be pretty absorbent, so I feel like towels will be great. And I did get some new fabric since the last time we've talked. So just one. Oh, let's see if it'll focus. Oh, look at this. This is a flannel type fabric. You'll probably be seeing it a lot because I got 3 yards. Don't know why I got so much for a little baby, but this is a flannel fabric, and look at its little Pooh Bear. And Winnie the Pooh is going to be his theme that we're not going to stick to very specifically. And then another thing is we're going to use this. This is actually an old shirt from an old shirt of Eric's, and because he's lost so much weight he can't wear it, but look at this cute little Mickey. He got this, wore it on our honeymoon, and I just figured what a great way is to repurpose this shirt into something for our little son. And because this shirt has nice memories, it could live on even if Eric looks sloppy in it because he's lost so much weight. Yeah, so I am going to cut this out and then cut these fabrics as well as a bunch of others and then get started. Hey, it's Sunday now, so I didn't quite finish all the cutting that I wanted to do. And actually, well, let me tell you the reason for it. So first of all, I just want to say, like, Sammy and I are totally fine. But I had a little, I got nervous. I got a little bit scared last night while I was cutting. So, while I was cutting, I just went like this, as I was cutting the fabric last night. And then, like, there was blood everywhere, you know, so I had a bloody nose last night. And actually it was the second time, because I also had one while I was at lunch, and I never get bloody noses. And so I have A negative blood, and I think they call it RH negative, because if you have negative blood, and it could be potentially, it could be dangerous for the baby because I have negative blood. If he has positive blood, then basically my body will recognize it as like something foreign, and my body could possibly attack the baby if it mixes. Now it should be fine, and then I will have to get shots to like help prevent it, and it's more so a little bit, the doctor said it's a little bit more precarious if you have future children, which I think we'll probably want future children. But anyway, and so my doctor said like, hey, if you have any bleeding, go ahead and call, and then I would just have to go in right away and get some shots, but everything should be fine. But I just had to go in right away. And so the bleeding, I was like 90% sure that she meant like vaginal bleeding, you know, but I was like, ugh. I just got, because it happened, I didn't get panicked the first time it happened, I don't know why, but the second time it happened, I was panicking. But I called the like Kaiser nurse hotline thing, and they sent me right away to the labor and delivery section of the hospital on the phone. I didn't have to leave, and like, and she walked me through it, and basically I'm fine. Like, this is just a weird pregnancy symptom, but the baby's not in any danger or anything. So so that was good. But I just couldn't, I hit that panic button in my heart, you know, because I got so worried for Sam, and I couldn't undo that. And so so I didn't finish cutting anyways. But on a positive note, we felt the baby move for the first time, and actually it was technically, I think, Erik who felt Sam first. So every Sunday, because I think Sunday is like the start of a new pregnancy week, so we have this app. I think it's a What to Expect app, and it just gives us like a download, like, oh, this is how your baby is developing, this is what you can maybe expect from this week. So every Sunday we like, whenever he wakes up, because he sleeps in longer than I do, we'll go over that together. And he always will be like touching Sam, you know, like touching my stomach and giving him cuddles and stuff while I'm reading it to him. And so he was like, Amy, is Sam moving? And I was like, probably. Like, I didn't think it was anything. Like, I was feeling stuff, but I just thought it was like I was digesting or gas or whatever, because I had toast and orange juice in the morning. And so like my hand was, I was like reading from my cell phone, my hand was resting on my belly, and then all of a sudden it just went like this, just a little bit. I was like, what? I was like, the baby just kicked my cell phone. Sammy just kicked my cell phone. And I was so excited, because like I'm not a twitchy person, like I'm not a fidgety person at all, and so I know that I just wouldn't like move my hand a little bit for no reason. And so that's when I was like, oh my gosh, Erik, it was him. And then like we were trying to like poke around and stuff, and we could feel it. There was nothing as strong as when he kicked my cell phone, but and it, like, don't get me wrong, he's not like, he's 20 weeks. This is our 20-week thing, so it wasn't like really having a strong kick, but it was like just enough of a move where it's like, that wasn't me, you know. So we got to feel it, and technically Erik felt Sam first, which I think is so cool. Like, he thought it was Sam. Like, obviously I felt it too, but I was like, it's just tummy things, whatever. So anyway, so it was really nice after we had the little panic where I overreacted, but I'm whatever. It's scary. It's scary being a mom, apparently. And so then we had such a good morning right now. I'm getting teary-eyed. Okay, but actually I think things are going to work well, because I have some tips that I learned after cutting things to make the fabric really cute for when if you want to cut these bibs too. So let me show you. Alright, so here is the template that I already told you guys about. And what I did is when I was cutting out, because I cut the terry cloth fabric out, like the absorbent fabric out first, and then what I just did is I made markings on here so I would know where the bottom is. So this long part here is the bottom. This is the top part, which will be near the neck. So where it has this little curved part, this will be towards the neck, and then this is in the middle section. So I just made notes like that to just kind of try to help me. So let me see. Alright, so let's just say, so this is Erik's old shirt that I'm like upcycling. So let's just say I want this little Mickey Mouse guy to be in the center of my bib. So all I do is I make the fold in, I make him in the fold section, because like I just showed you, the fold is going to be the middle. So it's going to be as close as I could get it to making Mickey in the center of it. And then I'm just going to lay it, and I'm going to try to put Mickey in the middle of the section, so he's like the middle. He's the star of it. And then because like one thing, if you're working with shirts, like old upcycled shirts like I have, like I'm doing here, you just want to make sure that there's not any like seams like there would be here, or else you're going to see, I don't know if you could tell, probably not, or else you'll obviously have the seam in there. So then I just take a few pins, pin this sucker down, and then oh, another thing which was odd, I don't know if my rotary cutter wasn't the correct size, but when I was cutting the terry cloth part, it actually was really hard to use a rotary cutter. I much prefer using a rotary cutter just because it's just a lot faster, and I feel like I could be a little bit more precise with the rotary cutter. But I had to go in with the old scissors, and because I'm working right now in our workroom and I don't have my cutting table or whatever, I'm just using scissors, obviously, for this one. So just to be aware, scissors work just fine for this project. Alright, so just have it cut out, and then look, this little bib, look at, he's going to be right in the center. So cute. Okay, so these are right sides together, and I just quickly pinned them. And what I'm going to do next is take it to the sewing machine, and I am going to sew with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm not going to be picky. I'm going to sew all the way around, but I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap so I could flip through. Alright, so I finished, and I did leave a little bit of a hole for each of the things. As I'm doing this, I'm like, I wish I made it a little bigger, but that's okay. But you could see there is going to be some maybe you could see. This is my stitching line, and then here's some excess. So I am just going to go around. I don't like these scissors. Those are paper scissors. These are fabric scissors. So I'm just going to go around and try to trim as close as I can, and anywhere, oh, it might not focus on this. Anywhere where there's a corner, I'm going to try to like clip as close as I can to the edges. This is just to try to reduce some bulk, so it'll just lay as nicely as possible around here. So next step is just cutting. Now that I've finished trimming the edges, I am just going to use this little hole and flip these right side out. So please do not do as I do. Please do it better than I did, because I made these holes way too small. And well, like, it's doable, but this is a little bit annoying, right? To try to struggle with this a bit, but that's okay. I don't know if I've told you, but I got 12 bibs out of this. So these are actually going to be really cost effective. And once again, I'm just using, like, I'm doing that shirt that I upcycle or that I'm using. And then also I am using fabric that I have just had. Now I do have a decent stash going, but this is going to be a really cost effective for me. So I basically flipped most of this out, but you could see like the corners are all funky. You know how it doesn't have that nice sharp edge. You could use a lot of things for this next point. I used to be a teacher, but I couldn't reach everything for, so I did have a pointer stick, like an old school pointer stick thing, because I am short. So if a chopstick could work, or there's like an actual like tool, but I am essentially going to these corners and I'm just trying to push them out as much as I can so the corners look a little bit better than what they were. So I don't know if you could tell, but the corners are a little bit sharper than they were. Still not quite yet. So I am going to turn all of these inside out, and then I'm going to iron them. And when I iron them, I am going to kind of put, it really doesn't like to focus. I'm going to push this opening so the seam allowance is inside the seam opening here, so it's kind of closing, so there's no raw edges. So I'm going to put the raw edges on the inside. Alright, so these masks are nicely ironed. I'll flip it over so you could see, but there still is obviously the opening for where we flipped it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to top stitch, which is stitching really close to the edge. But I'm not going to do it all the way around because that's not what they suggested. They suggested leaving like this part not top stitch. So I'm just going to start from, I don't know if you could see where it goes a little straight and then curves down. So I'm going to start and stop at the curves, but leave this neck part not top stitch, but then I'll just go all the way around. And so like that. Easy. Update. So, sorry, I have a starburst in my mouth. I don't think I care for the look of it being like, it's not a big deal, but I don't think I like the look of it being top stitched. Like, you could see the stitching here, but not here. And I really don't think it's going to be irritating at all. So I'm just going top stitch around the whole thing. Guys, I'm so excited. I just learned how to put snaps in, and so that was my new skill for the week, because I'm trying to learn a new skill, and it is the easiest thing. And it feels professional too. So let me show you how to do it. I'm so excited. You guys are going to love it, how easy it is. Alright, so I have my finished bib here, and I got this kit. It has a lot more things to it off of Amazon, and it's just called Cam Snaps, K-A-M-S-N-A-P-S, if you want to look it up, because it's so easy. Like, it's going to blow your mind how easy it is. Okay, so I have one of my bibs here that I'm just going to finish off. So I am just going to measure about an inch. I'm just approximating, like, I'm not getting exact crosshairs for this one, but I'm going to measure an inch. And then I have this pokey stick thing. Oh, Amy, stop talking and messing up. Okay, I have an eyeball about where it is. And then all you want to do is it pokes a hole. And I have like thick terry cloth fabric, and then this, and it pokes a hole so easily. So it's just a small hole. And then I am going to be doing it on the other side as well. So I am just going down in about an inch, eyeballing it in the middle, and then poke hole. And then what you're going to need is you're going to need some of the snaps. So please forgive me, I don't know the actual terms because like I just learned it. Oh, my ring is upside down. But you have 2 of these pokey things. So it's smooth on one side, pokey on the other. And then you will have a male, oh, will it focus? Male and female part. So meaning one can go inside the other. Dirty, I know, but there we go. That's how it is. So you take one, it looks like a push pin. So you basically take a plastic push pin and you stick it through, going through the bottom, through that little hole that you made. And then you take one of the things, I don't think it matters if it is a male or female part. It weirds me out. It just seems weird, but that's what they called it on the little tutorial thing. And then this is, I call it a clamper. I've only watched this tutorial once, guys. Can you tell how not professional I am? But I'm so excited, I can't wait to show you. So one thing that they did say is you want to make sure on the bottom that you can't really see the snap. And I just am clamping it down, and so I'm just going to squeeze and release, and then part of it's done. So basically I am smushing what used to be the pricky part of the push pin, and that's half of it. So what I am going to do is this one, the smooth side of the push pin is on the bottom. And this one, I am putting the smooth side on the top. So it's on the fabric side. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. So I'm grabbing the top part, then I'm grabbing, this time it is the male part of it. And I'm going to wiggle it into this thing, kind of set it down. Double check that I'm not making any mistakes. And squeeze, and then ta-da! Look at how easy. Snap and release. These are pretty strong snaps, so you could see like they definitely go together, but I'm not breaking anything. Guys, look at how cute! Sam is gonna look adorable in his cool Spider-Man drool bib, bandana bib, whatever. I'm so excited. So I'm going to finish all the rest of these. But look at, I learned something new. I love it. And I think it looks great, if I do say so myself. Alright, here they are all done. It's been a few hours because I had to work on some things for face mask orders. But I'm pretty happy, right? So this one is from Erik's shirt, like I told you. This reminds me of our road trip. Cute little Mickey one. Stitch, Erik's favorite character. Bees for Winnie the Pooh. Dumbo, Erik loves this fabric. More little Winnie the Pooh. More Mickey. I love this one. Sweet Winnie the Pooh fabric. More Winnie the Pooh fabric. Seahawks, because that's Erik's favorite team. And then Spider-Man. I love this one. This was an awesome, quick sewing project, and I learned something new, which is super cool. So I am going to reevaluate because I'm trying to take Sundays off, but I already didn't because I was putting mask orders together. So I'm going to try to spend the rest of the evening doing other sewing projects for Sam, but I just kind of I need to figure out what exactly I want to do and if I have the supplies, but probably be something quick. Alright, so actually Erik picked up this panel. So at Joann's sometime a while ago. So it kind of falls off my table, but look, it has Eeyore, Piglet, and then Tigger and Pooh, and then it says loves and hugs here, but it's I washed it, but obviously it needs to be ironed a ton. But basically it's one of these ideas where like you set your baby in the middle of this, and then you could take a picture for like every month. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think this is super cute, and it's probably, well, I'm just excited about it. So I am going to make this as a really simple quilt. I'm probably not going to show you guys the process, but I will show you guys it after it is all done. But that's what I'll spend my evening doing on. I do think I want to do some, I'll think about what quilting I want to do, but I probably want to do something fun in the middle of this. Change of plans. I am not going to be able to work on anything more sewing because my wrist is hurting, which sometimes happens. I think it's probably because I was like using scissors. It's this other wrist. I was using scissors a little bit too much, and sometimes that aggravates it, even when I have my brace on. But that's okay. I don't like, I'm trying to like stop myself when I'm starting to feel the first twinges because I don't want it to get bad, and just give it a rest. But I'm happy. I'm really happy with the bibs, and it'll just give me something to do next Sunday for Sewing for Sam Sundays for my son. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a fun time seeing how easy it is. I would highly recommend trying out snaps if you never have, because snaps are awesome. So if you're new, please hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. That'd be awesome. And thanks again. See you next time. Bye.